100K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets they fat. I got the from the block and they scamming. They know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue. They know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion. They know what that. I got some that's up in the jungle. They know what that. I came on top of the building. Yeah, my we had a plan. We came on top of the building. Yeah, my we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out. Yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Bentley truck and a 50 door window. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I go to hotels when I step out. Yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with a. Yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman. I just go crazy, man. Ball hard, can't face, man. Choppers, real place, land. This what happened when you give it.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden Night.
From the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at the newly named New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Buffalo Bills. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And the tackle there will go to Charles Harris.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Wentz to throw on second down. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for Hunter Henry from a week ago. 4 catches, 56 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Flush to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 48 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
On second down, here's Wentz. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. In for the score. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting the loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. And whatever they said appears to have worked. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now Allen. He gets it to Humphreys. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On first down, Allen under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Allen looks to throw on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Throwing now is Wentz. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Frank Clark able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And avoids the contact by sliding. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. 20! And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. 34 yards there and a first down. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And not a
Not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one goes for 36 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run, and they're still accurate throwing the football.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer.
Hit touchdown, LA! Robert Foster, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as, that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. On
2nd down, Williams. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they're just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays is uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Throwing now is Allen. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Allen now looks to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Allen. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Escaping the pressure right. And he gets this out to Foster on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Now Wentz. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
82.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. Eluding the pressure right. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bills are going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, the Bills getting set to go. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
That'll go as a loss of 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. To the air, Allen, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Again, they'll throw with Allen, and he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. That's complete to Taylor. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. They find some open field here. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game, for here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Flushed out right. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Robert Foster with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Allen. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you down.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. Henry's got it out on the left side. That goes for a gain of 31. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Robert Foster on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And this Charger offense is running away with this one. Point after, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Scoring play drive. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Bills. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. People
under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On play action, Allen. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game.
He's got a man complete. A big play there for L.A. And even 60 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme so he doesn't get hit.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Derrick Henry with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. Extra point safely through. And when they called that play, I'm not sure they expected it to go all the way to the end zone. Nice little reward, though.
Without a doubt, and sometimes I think the offensive line gets a little bit more inspiration when they know that guy's going to get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often. They want to reward him for all that good blocking he does as well.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
To throw, it's Allen. It's caught. Humphreys. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
What really hurts defenses on screen passes is that they eat up one of their levels right away. Because, you know, most defenses, 3 levels. D-line, linebacker, secondary. But on a screen pass, you're inviting the defensive line to get past them. And then you throw the ball over their heads. And now there's just 2 levels left to try and stop big guys out in front of a guy running with the football.
Now Allen. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Jesse James, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills claw one back. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
81.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. It got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this. Or he keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Now here's the timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Derrick Henry in the final seconds of the first half. And this Charger offense is running away with this one.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime intermission. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Allen now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Holding. Offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Allen, blitz coming, and down he goes. Jayon Brown, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup, but even after that, they're left with a 3rd and very long.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Green, 39. Green.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you got a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or
very
lights
quickly,
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Robert Foster, 94 yards. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. So from back deep in their own territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They run it again with Williams, and there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Run.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Frank Clark in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Trey 15.
Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Charles Harris in there to get him for a loss of 5. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Allen, nowhere to
escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
15, great 15.
Wentz now on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. It's a big one there for the Chargers. And even 40 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Shorty, shorty, shorty.
Here's Wentz to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like an I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
He'll get it up the middle, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Here's Mixon, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. They run for it with Mixon, and he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Bills are going to get the football back. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. Room past the 20. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Again, it's Williams. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He gets it to Humphries. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. Back now in Buffalo. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. Usually the big fella's a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on first down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of men you've got to deal with now.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And it appears the offense is going to try this again. They've yet to convert the first 3 times on 4th down, but they're going once more. They'll run with Mixon, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And past the 30 down to about the 27. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Over the middle, complete. It's James. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. Trevor Williams there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
Black. Hey, 81.
Wentz to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.